So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in Scorpio. And feel free to check your other placements. And I will link timestamps below for anyone who wants to skip to the oracle portion of the reading. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the card reveals first. And by the way, today I'm using the Moon Dust Tarot deck by Terra Soleil. So your first card is in the recent past. You have Two of Pentacles. You have the current present. You have Seven of Swords. The person you're thinking about is the Hierophant. And how this person views you is the High Priestess. How do they feel is King of Swords. How do they want to move on, or how do they want to proceed is King of Cups. What you don't see is hidden, or the hidden issue is Eight of Cups. Your general resolution is Temperance. And the outcome for the both of you, or for the situation that you're in, it doesn't have to be a relationship. If this is a general reading, is the Empress. And the bottom of the deck was Knight of Pentacles. So I want to start with the Knight of Pentacles first. So the Knight of Pentacles in this spread, I think, is really you, because it is the only Knight court card in all of the spread, and it is surprisingly coming at the end. And I'm also seeing kind of the immediate pattern of my Lily Ashwell Heavenly Bodies Astrology card. My altar card is the Fixed Hand here, and it says stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So with the Knight of Pentacles here, there's a lot of stability innately within this person that we're talking about right now, and that is you, Scorpio. There's a lot of efficiency and responsibility and hard work, a lot of productivity you're putting into either your business or some sort of creative venture right now. Your hard work has not been ignored. You're going to receive the recognition you've been looking for, whether this is a professional sector that you're working with, or a situation that has been a little bit hidden from view lately. So you may be someone who works kind of in a subordinate position in your job, and you're kind of the power behind the scenes. And immediately I'm getting someone who's underappreciated or underpaid in some way. This will definitely be a grounding influence for you and gain the recognition you so feel you deserve. But we will clarify in a moment here. So with the recent past with Two of Pentacles here, it seems like a lot of you, and I believe this is a career or job issue right now, you're adapting to some changes in management, possibly either your own, focusing on your own work, or there's some sort of a shift in the job environment you're in, whether or not, you've been switched to another position or you started a new role in your job. This is bringing a little bit of imbalance to your life right now. With the Seven of Swords, this typically means that there's some sort of sneaking around or some sort of trickery involved. If this is your current present, this could be a relationship that you are doubtful about. If it's meeting a new person, you are skeptical of the person's intentions. And this oracle tree here that I just pulled right before the reading was Inner Voice and Break Free. So we're going to explore that in a moment here. So the person that you're thinking about, the situation that you're dealing with is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant here is quite a bit of a heavy influence right now. There's a lot of structure in your life, and there's also a lot of traditions you're trying to break free from. And there might be a lot of issues regarding your job that are restraining you from pursuing what you really want to do. So whether or not this is more of a 9-to-5 position that you want to restructure yourself, or you might want to leave your current position for another type of role similar to this one, but offers you more independence in the long run. if this is a relationship with the Hierophant, let's clarify further, but I want to get to the Empress first. The person sees you as a high priestess, and there's also the Empress here in the final outcome. So there is a lot of power issues involved, and I'm sensing with Scorpios especially, there might be some power struggles either within their workplace right now involving them, or some sort of power struggle with their relationships, whether it could be a love relationship, it could be a partnership in business, it could be family members, siblings. There's some sort of power struggle, and if you're a Scorpio, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. It is an internal thing where tempers kind of flare within different transits and planetary influences. And with Mercury, Venus going into Gemini, you have a lot of communication going on. And we also do have a bit of some sword action here. So 7 of Swords and King of Swords. With the King of Swords, if this is how they feel or the other party feels, there's definitely a lot of balance and focus. King of Cups, you have a lot of understanding and a more emotional foundation to go off of. So for you, Scorpio, regardless of what you're dealing with right now, situation-wise or relationship-wise, you can certainly proceed very cautiously with the King of Cups here. And because of the King of Swords in the rational realm versus your emotional side, you'll get through any type of hardship or obstacle you're facing right now. With the 8 of Cups here in what you don't see or what's hidden, I feel like there is also some sort of disillusionment, or you could be dealing with another water sign in Scorpio or Pisces or Cancer. I'm sensing maybe you're dealing with the Pisces. For some of you, I think there's someone in the past, maybe a friend or someone you used to know, could be a love interest, but this person is kind of at the back of your mind sometimes, and they kind of resurface when you're going through some sort of a transformation. And I think with the Pluto card here that I just put out before we did the spread, transform and 8 of Cups have a bit of a connection here. So I think this person kind of creeps up in your thoughts when you're about to move up to a higher level of understanding yourself. So when you're being introspective, Scorpios tend to be quite deeply involved, even though on the surface they look like they're going through the motions and their routines of everyday life. But they are quite productive in, churning through those emotions and coming up with something that they can either take apart and look at objectively, or make sure that they are kind of aligned with their purposes. Since Scorpio is a fixed sign, there's definitely a lot of stubbornness involved as well, but there's also a need for change, and they don't fear change as much. If you're a sun in Scorpio and you have conjunction with Pluto, or if you have major planets, houses in the 8th house, you're definitely not afraid of these kind of shadow work, and you are listening to your inner voice at this time. So let's clarify with our everyday tarot deck why the Hierophant is here. 2 of Swords. And again, I pre-shuffled, so we're just going to pull it out of the deck. We have 9 of Cups. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles. With this clarifying the Hierophant as the person you're thinking about, or either that or the situation you're thinking about. The Hierophant clarified by 9 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords came out first, and then the 9 of Cups. So there's an issue that they're trying to kind of push aside at this time and not deal with. And that is leading you to feel like you're rebelling against the situation, or you want to break free from it no matter what the cost. You're just feeling like your inner voice is telling you to back off of something or just not go for something. If this is a job environment, you may not want to compete against someone, maybe because of retrograde or some sort of issue where you think that is not worth going after. If this is a relationship matter, then the Nine of Cups signifies that this person that you're thinking about might have a lot of emotional stability to offer you, and there's kind of an emotional well of things that you want to express to this person as well. Maybe you feel vulnerable, but you're holding back. And then Queen of Pentacles, I think, is basically you being hardworking and focused on really anything but love right now. So Queen of Pentacles is a great card, I think, to go with the Knight of Pentacles theme here, because that really shows you that, so even if there's some minor obstacles in work, you don't find it that difficult to kind of go within and find what you really want out of a situation. Down to earth decisions that you're making, and these are just rational decisions. They're not up in the air. I mean, you're in the Pentacles and you're in earthbound mode right now, Scorpio, and you could have Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn in your signs and placements as well, but this is grounding you. This is not something that you're thinking of lightly. So you're not taking matters too lightly. You're not just plowing through decisions quickly for no reason. Let's clarify Temperance. Why is Temperance here? Oops, dropped it. Two cards came out. You have the Two of Wands, the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands and Two of Wands here. I pulled the last card from the bottom of the deck, and that was the Hermit. And right underneath that was Death. So this really does show you that there is a decision that you're making right now that is quite impactful on your life, and perhaps those surrounding the situation as well. And I do feel strongly that this is a career or a kind of a life path decision right now, or a lifestyle decision you're making, and you're going within yourself and going into hermit mode to figure out what's going on internally and what you really feel that is best for you, or what aligns with your soul path. And it doesn't have to be like a person that is your soulmate. It could be a career or some sort of purpose you feel aligned with. It doesn't even have to be a vocation. It could be just something you're passionate about, maybe even activism, something you're seeing in the world that there's a lot of inequality or injustice that you're possibly seeking ways to change the world. I'm feeling very strongly, a lot of you are extremely ideologically driven. So with the Wands here, Two of Wands and Nine of Wands, you're taking a lot of action towards this goal of making decisions in Two of Wands. You could have fire in you, dealing with fire signs, or in Nine of Wands, you're also showing a lot of grit and courage, I think, in this situation. So there might be some insurmountable tasks that are ahead of you, but you're definitely going to, with Temperance clarified by these three, you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of this seeing eye, this all-seeing eye here, highly spiritually important passage of time right now for you, Scorpio. And it's crucial that you have the patience to kind of wade through tensions and listening to your inner voice, as the Oracle says over here, and then breaking free from traditional paths. And I think that the Hierophant that we saw earlier is something that you're kind of disregarding at this time. You're kind of bucking the tradition, throwing away your past restrictions for something that will no longer bind you to typical or more basic constructs of your life. So you're really looking far into the future. And I think this is an important step for you at this time. And perhaps pursuing higher education, or thinking about going into a different field, and then perhaps updating your skills for that as well. And with patience and being in the hermit mode, you're going to achieve that very easily. I mean, even looking at this progression of the wands, you see this person standing there looking through the Two of Wands at a landscape. And then they're kind of in the weeds with Nine of Wands. So they're deep into the purpose or the topic they're interested in. They'll do their research very thoroughly. And the Hermit, as the final outcome, is he's on top of the mountain and he's looking down at kind of all that he's accomplished. And you're, wise beyond your years at this time. So as I mentioned before in the Virgo reading, there's a lot of people that think the Hermit is kind of a sad, lonely card, but it actually depicts someone who has kind of reached a different spiritual level in their life and kind of attained a sort of small enlightenment in their way. You're tapping into a higher spiritual plane by going into Hermit mode. So we're going to clarify why the High Priestess and the Empress are here. Seven of Cups. Three of Wands. And Ten of Swords. So Seven of Cups and Three of Wands with Ten of Swords clarifying the High Priestess. If this is an emotional investment in someone or some sort of relationship matter, this is not a great omen for that, because Seven of the Cups is you're dealing with someone's kind of infidelity, or there's a lot of unrealistic expectations in Seven of Cups. There could be a lot of disillusionment to begin with by knowing this person, or there's also a chance where this person is a player and they just have a lot of choices to choose from. If they see you as this person, then that means that they think you have a ton of choices and you are someone to be kind of prized after. So with the Three of Wands here, you're looking off into the distance, and with the Ten of Swords here, there is a defeat. A firm defeat of something, an ending coming soon. So within respects to your career at this time, Scorpio, I think there's going to be a firm decision made soon about ending the relationship, the work relationship, in pursuit of your own ideologies. And I think you're listening to your inner voice, breaking free from the Hierophant. And with the Two of Swords that we just had, there's an issue that has been hidden from you, and you're going to discover it and realize that this is something that you don't want. So there's certainly with a relationship, this is also an ending coming to a cycle. There's a lot of introspection that is bringing you the clarity that you need right now. And with the Empress here, I'm just going to pull one clarifier out. So it looks like with the Empress, we clarified, and three of these cards came out: Four of Swords, the Emperor, and the Ace of Wands. And again, we're reading in all upright, although the Emperor kind of wanted to come out sideways. So that might be an indication that you're trying to shake the traditional value system off and kind of move into your own path at this time, and not letting traditional restrictions or structure hold you back. With Ace of Wands in the final card, there's definitely a call to action in a very new cycle and a new beginning. So if it's screaming to me, Scorpio, that this is your livelihood, your path, your new path or career that you wanted to take for a long time. And I'm sensing that there's a group of Scorpios that have already done this. And if not, you're in that second group of people that are just going through this in mid 2021 stage. And I feel like a lot of you back in 2020 have already taken that step. I know I have, because I'm kind of in that first group. Four of Swords here also indicates that there's a lot of inner work that you still need to do, going within yourself, taking that respite, going into hermit mode. And the Emperor here is, when it came out sideways, you're bucking the tradition, and Ace of Wands, you're taking steps to a new venture at this time. And then just to clarify again, you went from Eight of Cups to the Empress. So whatever you're abandoning, withdrawing from at this time is just something that wasn't clear to begin with. So whether that's a relationship or a work situation, you're better off without it at this time, and you've figured that out for yourself along the way. And if you haven't done this, it's going to come clear to you whether or not you want to pursue whatever it is that you have been thinking about for a long time but haven't taken the action to, because you have three wands here to clarify in the bottom row, and that's already pretty clear. Okay, so let's do the oracle reading next. So what does Scorpio need to know? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Scorpio, numerology card. Full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. And we do have an eclipse coming soon. It is in Sagittarius on May 26th. The second card is it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So I did this again with Gemini. They pulled their own card out from the Moonology deck. So the negativity and the breaking free from negativity is quite profound in this sense. You see the pattern that you're already creating is quite profound. You're releasing and literally breaking free from the branches that are holding, or the trunk that is holding you up, and listening to your inner voice and not you're concluding things for yourself. So there's a lot of shadow work you're working on right now at this time, Scorpio, and it has been a lot of disappointments in the past, and you are already in a good place to release them. So either you're content with a lot of the resources you've accumulated, possibly because of increased wealth and just abundance in general, and financially you might be in a good place to break free from any type of traditional job or something that's not making you happy at this time. So there's work to be done, but it looks like you're finally getting what you want out of this. And if this is some sort of X, for some of you Scorpio, I just sighed a little bit because, there's a lot of people obsessed with Scorpions and they just keep resurfacing. They're never going away, but your impact on them has been pretty high. I think you're going to have to come to terms with that in order to move on with your life as well. So we're going to pull from my own oracle deck here, my little travel oracle deck for the single Scorpios. Where can you meet the important person that will change your life forever, whether it's relationships, in love or job, or just spiritually? For May 2021 for Scorpio, we have school or college or continuing education, fall quarter or semester. So it looks like a lot of you with the Hierophant in the beginning, you're probably going back to school. Where else could the Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus meet this person? Cultural setting, so that includes any kind of venue where you have concerts, music, art, even a park, public venues. And it says midday, weekday, Monday through Friday. So for some of you, you're just going about your daily business and you'll run into the person that will help you along the way, or run into a new friend or kindred spirit, perhaps online as well. One more for Scorpio singles or those who are looking. It says hotel, bar, club next season. So our next season after this season is summer. While in the air, boarding or layover. Could be also traveling during the summer. So That is your reading for today, Scorpio. If you like this reading, please check out my other May 2021 readings, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe. Do 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 do.